What's up guys, this is Ace Coleman and today I'm going to show you what I do for knock fit. So on this string it has 22 strands and a 17 or 18 thousandths center serving, and it measures with calipers around 110 thousandths. I'm running the Biter Hunter 19/2 Hunter knock, and ideally you need to be running around 113 thousandths, give or take. I prefer 113, 114. 112 is probably a little on the loose end for me. So right now, 110, we need to be around 113. So what am I going to do? So I put the string on this string stretcher and I cut the serving off. I'm going to put a thicker serving on. I'm going to show you which serving I'm going to use with a 22 strand string and go from there. So what I'm going to be using is BCY Power Grip 25,000 serving thread, and we're going to wrap this and see what that looks like just sitting at rest. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is going to be slightly thicker than the way it will be when we actually tighten it down, because it stretches just a little bit when you tighten it down. So at this position, I really want it to be slightly thick, so when we do tighten it down, it'll be probably just right. So I have the knock. We're going to plug this in. Very definite. It is very thick right now. No left and right play. It does grip the string quite a bit, but that's a good sign. I've tried using 62 XS in a 21 thousandths and it was just a little on the thin side for me. So what I'm going to do is just use the 25, tighten it down, and see how thin it really gets. So this is how the knock fit currently is: 22 strands, 17 to 18 thousandths center serving with the Biter 19/2 Hunter knock. So it clips on, and it sounds like it has a very good click, but it moves forwards and backwards just a little bit and left and right quite a bit. So for most people, they would probably be okay with that. I'm not. I like having a very clear knocking point that doesn't have any oscillation whatsoever. So I'm going to go ahead and get this Biter winder set up. This is probably the best serving jig out there. And we're going to put our little discs inside of the spool, like so. And then just pop this in here, like that. Looking good. Ram the rod through, and ram this through. And get a little bit of tension there. Now we just have to put this serving through the jig. Has this little diagram here. It's very convenient. I'm going to wind it through. Okay, so we have the jig set up, and now we're going to go ahead and get this unwound and start serving. So I am doing this very old school just to show you guys kind of the process. Okay, so very good. So this is in the center of the string, this piece of serving. So I want to actually, I have an extra string here. I want to show you where I want the center to actually end up. This was actually served a little higher than I preferred, so I'm going to mark this right quick. So a silver Sharpie should do for this, just the top and bottom. We're going to loosen the stretcher and pull this down to our desired mark. Okay, probably feed that through and take our new serving split this cable, move that up the string, put this in. Now we will tighten this cable. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten this to about 500 pounds, I believe. Something pretty tight, very tight. You don't want to serve on a loose string or it's not going to be very consistent. So we can pull this through just a little bit. About the same as that, a little less. Cool, and then we can pull this out. Make sure nothing is left behind. This is for our peep. And now, let's go ahead and start serving. So we're going to want to take this and kind of get a start on it. Very good. We can just kind of leave that there. That should be fine. That will be the end of the knot essentially under there. And now we can kind of loosen this a little bit and get really hugged up onto it and start serving. So just spin this with your hand and have some tension on it so it stays tight. And just serve this. Might go just a little tighter. Just go to the very end of our mark. Should we like that? Yeah, that's a little loose. I'm gonna be honest with you, this is much tighter. So we can tighten these down, make sure we pull this super tight. Yeah, you see guys how this is a little loose. I'm gonna back it up. You really wanna make sure you do a high quality job with this. Very easy to make mistakes on this. I do not do this daily, so I have done one bowstring in my lifetime and it sucked really bad. And that's okay, you gotta start from somewhere. But this is one thing that I think every archer should take extremely seriously. You really need to understand your nock fit and have it drilled. I've heard so many professional archers talk about it and really not show it. So this is what I would do. And a lot of times your string manufacturer can do it, but it's still important to make sure, even on your own, that you have the tolerance you're looking for. Okay, so I'm gonna tighten this back up. Just pick up the slack. Go back over my little knot there. And we really want this top end to get much tighter. So I'm gonna pull this up, especially that first little knot there. Doesn't look too fun. Okay, so just right over that. We might try on the other side. No, don't like that. So we could honestly just go this way. No, we really want to get this little piece taken care of. So let's go one over, just like that. And then from here, I want to go ahead and start the serving process. Get the jig just like this, and tighten our jig, and go ahead and start. So one thing you're going to want to do that I actually made a mistake on during this tutorial is you really want to make sure that you grab this string here after you wrap over it maybe 6 times and pull it really, really tight, and it will actually move just a bit. This will actually tighten up as you do this, but essentially you want to pull this tag end and then burn the tag end at the end of the sequence. So just continue serving over this as I will show you, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So that's going completely over it. I would make sure there is a clear jump. So like I can go this way. Let's go one more. And then jump over that section. Let it poke through. And now tighten this down quite a bit. Pull this in. I like to go pretty tight on that, not too tight. Yeah, it's a little too tight, so loosen the knob. That looks really good. Easy enough. Okay, so that is exactly what we need to do. Might tighten this down just a bit. Sounded nice. Might loosen this up a bit. Yeah, it's cutting in pretty good there. Okay. That's just the jig, essentially. Looking pretty good so far. String is really tight. That looks, we'll do just a few more. That looks pretty good. Good starting point, good ending point. Yes, that should be just fine. And I believe right there we can finish up our knots. So what we're going to do is finish the end with a nail knot of sorts. Okay. Let's check out how this knock fit feels. Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. Didn't take too much to come off. And no up and down, no left and right. It's very good. One other thing I would like to mention that I did not mention in this video is when you are serving this, you want to make sure that you go counterclockwise instead of clockwise. When I put this bowstring on the bow, the serving would want to unwind itself, and essentially it would be twisting the front and the back of the string. So that is controlled by the way you serve it, and just make sure you go counterclockwise. How do we finish this off? Well, I'm about to show you. So essentially what you'll do is you want to make sure you keep your finger on this so it does not go anywhere. Have a really good serving wrap right there. And essentially we can loosen up our jig, pull this down, and essentially cut the end, keeping that extremely tight. All right, so this is called back serving. So essentially what we are going to do is take our serving and basically serve back over it inside itself, inside this U shape. 3 wraps, 4, and 5. Very good. And make sure I did this right. lay this over, and then now we are going to serve over that piece using this serving. So we want to be very careful. Just like this. Okay, so now you're going to get to the very, very end, and I'm going to take this Allen key, pull this, and really pull this through. Let's see if we can pull that. We might need to get some pliers. So here we go. Go a wrap. Definitely don't want to lose that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this extra tag end and essentially wrap it inside these pliers. That way we do not lose our spot. Keeping tension. I feel like a surgeon. Okay, and then we're going to lock these in and pull. And then we're going to wrap these around. That is looking very good. And essentially pull. And look at that tighten. Very nice. Okay. And there we go. So now, all we have to do now is cut and burn both ends. And there you have it. So, again, this is what good knock fit looks like. So it's on there, and there is no forward to back motion on the spider knock. And the left and right I'm doing, there's no felt wiggle of the knock. And then to make it go off, just about a 1/4 inch of travel. By most people's standards, that's probably too tight, but for mine, that is what I am looking for. And again, as far as what too loose looks like, this will be an exaggerated example. Essentially, lots of wiggle left and right and forward to back play. You do not want that. So that is everything you need to know about knock fit. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you haven't already, make sure to leave a comment, like this video, and definitely subscribe. And if you have any issues with your current bow setup, maybe you have target panic, or maybe you're just trying to get to the next level, make sure to head to my website at championarcheracademy.com to find a solution that best fits you. That's all for this one.